Hey, what's going on today, guys? In this video, I'm going to give you guys all the dailies you need to be doing during the collab event, the quick updates that came with the update as well that are not related to the collab, and then we're going to go over all the units and what they do. Basically, I'll give you guys my first impressions. So some changes have been made to Monster Subjugation. The TLDRs, they basically made it easier to get better rewards. So the 6-star grade, you need less points. Triple S, you need less points. Tartarus Labyrinth improvements, you basically get extended hours for beating Guardians. Not absolutely necessary, but something that's nice for weaker guilds. Improvements to World Guild Battle. Basically, it's to be easier to distinguish people who have placed versus not placed. Guild Profile improvements, going to skip over it, not really relevant. Guild Rival Battle, it'll be easier to get the Triple S and better ranks as they're reducing the amount from 80% down to 70%. And probably the biggest and most important one of all, emotes are now able to be disabled in RTA, which is absolutely amazing. Other than that, small other improvements and some game bug fixes. Make sure to come to your Together with Cookies event to claim all your daily energy and your daily mana. There's an expedition building in which you can send 5 monsters. As long as you complete all of the requirements, then you'll be getting your max rewards, and these are what they look like. If you come to the middle of the world map, you can check out this little special dungeon here. You can do this once a day or up to 40 jelly beans max. So if you don't clear the entire thing, you can just run it multiple times. Remember, you can also come beat Master X in the arena daily for extra glory and 10 jelly beans. You can do that once every 23 hours. Starting off with the Espresso Cookies. So the Fire Espresso Cookie seems pretty decent. Base stats, all right. Oh, I want to see your awakening, but I guess I can't. Unlucky. So skill 1s. Attacks the enemy to prevent receiving beneficial effects for 2 turns with a 30% chance. Buff lock is decent. It's kind of cool. Not super important on skill 1. Skill 2, attacks the enemy to set the enemy's attack bar to 0. Decreases the target's HP by up to 30% and up to 5% if it's a boss in proportion to the reduced attack bar. That's actually pretty cool on a 3-turn cooldown. And skill 3, attacks all enemies to grant branding effect for 2 turns. In addition, grants the following effects for 2 turns each. Decrease attack power to the enemy with the highest attack power, decrease defense to the enemy with the highest defense, and decrease attack speed to the enemy with the highest attack speed. That's actually pretty cool. AoE brand and then AoE debuff is pretty neat. And then the attack power reduction on skill 2 is pretty cool. I think this unit could be pretty good, actually. I think we could see some play for this. Maybe it has potential for RTA. I don't think it's going to be super relevant there, but this could be a 4-star or special league unit, as well as I think it's going to be a siege unit. The Water Espresso, obviously same skill 1. Oh, yeah, same skill 1. I thought that said strips buff for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Skill 2, attacks all enemies 3 times with a giant whirlwind to reduce their attack bar by 20% each, and attacks them once more to freeze them for 1 turn with a 30% chance. Now, because this doesn't get any harmful effect rate, I don't think the skill is actually very good. It does awaken into speed, though, so it does have like a little bit of control setup, but overall doesn't seem great. Attacking the frozen enemy reduces the target's attack bar by 30% each. If the frozen enemy gains a turn, the target's HP will be reduced by 10%. Now, that is kind of cool if you pair it with a freeze build. So, like, if you pair this with Varad, that'd be really nice. But I think one of the biggest problem with freeze and then Water Espresso Cookie is that freeze is like almost exclusively a water unit skill. So it's kind of just like too much water. But cool concept, high base speed. So Espresso Cookie Wind. It has the AoE attack bar reduction skill 2, skill 3 passive. You'll be immune to sleep and grant one of the following effects for 2 turns when you gain a turn. Increase attack power, increase defense, or increase attack speed. Cool passive. Don't think it's super relevant with the kit, gonna be honest. I think it would be pretty cool if it had like some sort of attack bar gain, maybe instead of the attack bar reduction, because then you could cycle your skill 3 faster. The thing is, being immune to sleep is cool, but if you're not immune to attack bar reduction, like you still just get controlled anyways. So we have the light one. Light one has the attack bar set reduction. Skill 3 is actually a skill. Attacks all enemies to decrease their defense for 2 turns and increase their cooldown time by 1 turn. This is pretty cool. This could probably be used for people who don't need attack buff in terms of cleaves. So you could use this instead of like... You could probably try using this instead of Galleon if you're like me and you have a light Ryu, or if you have like a Zerath for cleave, things that just don't need the attack buff. This could be pretty cool. And then the Dark Espresso. So I actually summoned 4 of these for a friend today, which is kind of sad and funny at the same time. But skill 2 is the AoE attack bar reduction. Skill 3 attacks all enemies 3 times and evens out the HP ratio and attack bar of all enemies except for the boss. Cool concept. Don't think it's that useful. It does leave things open to a cleave, but low base speed makes it kind of questionable to see if we're going to be able to use that or not. All right, moving on. We have the Madeleine Cookies. So Madeleine Cookies, 103 base. That's not bad. It seems like none of them have Speed Awakening. Skill 1, attack the enemy to decrease the attack bar by 30% with a 30% chance. This goes up to 50% chance. This is a pretty decent skill. This is basically like Art Master skill 1, but a little bit worse. Skill 2, calls upon the Celestial Light. While under the Celestial Light, Glorious Attack will attack all enemies. Oh, skill 1 AoEs. That's kind of cool. And you'll be immune to inability effects. The Celestial Light gets dismissed when you take 50% of your max HP damage in total. Cool concept. Not sure how good it'll be in practice. And then Narcissism passive. Additionally, attacks additionally if your HP is at 70% or above when you attack on an enemy. When you attack an enemy on your turn. Gosh, reading is hard, guys. Seems like it's going to be a vampire unit. Don't think Revenge applies to the AoE, but cool concept. You want to keep its HP up. If it's not going to be vampire, probably just run it on Violent with like a healer. Just be good with Riley and stuff like that. But Guild Lead is kind of cool. I also didn't check if the Espressos had leads. They do not. All right. We have the Water Madeleine. So skill 2. While under Celestial Light, Glorious Attack will attack all enemies and you will be immune to inability effects. Now that's kind of cool. Passive offsets off all of the incoming damage that may cause you to die, removes all harmful effects, and uses Commander's Honor instantly. Cool concept. It's like Triana with no free turn, I guess. It's like a Josephine Cleanse with Triana passive, but no extra turn. It's okay. Not great. Wind Madeleine. So Commander Strike attacks the enemy 2 times, stunning the enemy for 1 turn and disturbing HP recovery for 2 turns with a 50% chance each. HP scaling. We have Perish. Increases the attack power and crit of all allies and attack bar by 15%. Now, the attack bar by 15% is actually a cool concept. This might actually get some use as a support for cleaving. Attack buff, crit buff, and attack bar reduction. I think this is the first time we've ever seen these together. So I'll be interested to try it out. I'll get one, see how it goes. So we have the Light Madeleine. So while under Commander's Honor, you'll be immune to inability effects. And when attacking the enemy, silences the enemy for 1 turn with a 50% chance and recovers the HP by 15% of the damage dealt. This unit is conceptually really cool because it has a built-in vampire. Silence for 1 turn and 50% chance is kind of low, though. So this is absolutely necessary to run on Violent. But AoE Silence is pretty cool. AoE Silence is pretty cool. Then we have the Dark Madeleine Cookie. So this is a single target attack stun. And then attacks all enemies 2 times to decrease their defense for 3 turns each. This attack will deal more damage according to your max HP. This actually could see use just because it is a 100% harmful effect rate. Most likely going to see it in Special League, though. Maybe 4-star towers in Siege. All right, onto the Pure Vanilla Cookies. So skill 1, attacks the enemy target and recovers the HP of the ally with the lowest HP ratio by 10% of your max HP. Now, keep in mind that is important. Your max HP is pretty valuable, and you also get 25% recovery, so this goes up to 12.5%. Not bad, but it's not great, especially considering they have 96 base speed. HP and defense are really, really good, but these are basically really slow units. So not 100% sure how we'll see that so far, but very cute design. Skill 2, Love and Peace, illuminates all allies with the Vanilla Orchid Staff, recovers their HP by 15%, and creating a shield equivalent to 15% of your max HP for 2 turns. On a 3-turn cooldown, this is not bad. This is screaming like a siege unit for me. Screaming siege support, but no cleanse yet. Increase the recovery amount and attack bar increasing amount from skills that allies receive by 30% each. This effect does not accumulate and does not apply in battles against bosses. This is a cool concept because this feels like a mini Jackson. So when you gain attack bar, you gain more attack bar, and when you gain heal, you gain more heal. That's pretty cool. Cool concept. Cool concept. Not sure if it'll be used in RTA. Probably a siege unit. It's probably just a siege unit. We have the Water Pure Vanilla. Skill 2. Attacks the enemy to grant 2-turn Oblivion. 2-turn Oblivion, 3-turn cooldown. Always good. Determination of the Vanilla Kingdom grants attack buff, speed buff, and immunity on allies for 2 turns, 4-turn cooldown. This unit will be used as a support. This is a great siege unit. It probably is pretty decent in RTA as well due to the fact that it's speed buff, immunity buff for 2 turns. But this skill 2 being 3-turn cooldown on Oblivion is very, very, very good. With the Wind Vanilla. Wind Vanilla has the heal and shield, and a passive that says when an ally with a shield is attacked, Deals damage equal to 30% of the damage dealt to the shield to the attacker. In addition, creates a shield equal to 15% of your max HP on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns when your turn starts. This is a cool concept. I think this could be useful with things like Alexandra or like really tanky Diana comps or Valeria. So this could be like an arena defense unit maybe for like reflect damage kills or potentially a siege unit as well. I don't see this being a super popular RTA unit, but who knows? It might be with that healing. You might be able to use it as an anti-cleave unit on Nemesis. We have the light pure vanilla. So my friend Zed actually pulled 2 of these back to back, and that is hilarious and also kind of sad at the same time to me. So skill 2, AoE heal, AoE shield. Skill 3 is an actual skill. So 4-turn cooldown. Grants endure and immunity on the ally target for 2 turns and resets the cooldown time. This is a single target skill. If the skill is used on a dead ally, the ally will be revived with little HP. The cooldown time will be increased by 2 turns additionally, but grants the same effect as when used on a living ally. So they get immunity, endure, and resets the cooldown time, which is actually pretty nuts. However, Light of Truth is not affected by the cooldown increasing or decreasing skill. Now, this is really cool. So you can't Oliver this, you can't Ganny it, you can't ventilate it with Ganny. This is a cool skill conceptually, but I'm not sure how good it is. Like, this is, I think, cool with things like that have revive. Like, this could be cool with Ayunu, this could be cool with Samath and stuff like that, but like, is it really that good? We'll have to figure it out. We'll see. I would love to see this in RTA. And we have the dark pure vanilla cookie. So this is the Oblivion. And then our skill 3 is a 4-turn cooldown. Removes all beneficial effects granted on enemies. Decreases their attack speed for 2 turns. And absorbs their attack bar by 15% each. This is really cool. This is like a slow wound saw. But it's like very turn 2-y. And turn 2 because of the 96 base speed. But the fact that you decrease speed and then push attack bar, those 2 things together are very valuable because when you decrease someone's speed, it takes longer for them to actually regain their attack bar. So this could help with lapping on turn 2. A very strong turn 2 potential unit. And last but not least, we have the Hollyberries. I always call them the Hollyberries. I have no idea why, but it's become habit. So this actually is the one that was leaked in Vegas. This is a super cool concept unit. So skill 1, provoke, deals damage based on defense. Really like that it's an 80% chance to provoke. I like it just about as much as I like Praha skill 2 strip being 90% Keck /S. So the cool thing though is that you get the hug mechanic. So escorts the ally with the lowest HP for 3 turns. This is the hug mechanic that the beast monks have. Then charges fearlessly towards the enemy with the Hollyberry shield. Deals damage that increases according to your defense on the attack target and stuns for 1 turn. So it's actually a different thing than the skill 1. So Hollyberry shield. With the power of Hollyberry shield, decreases the damage that your allies take by 200% of your defense. Also rip my tablet. Until the next turn starts. You will gain immunity to inability effects during this time. I think this is a really cool skill because it really, really gives a ton of mitigation and allows you to like protect or set up depending on what you need in terms of support. So I actually think we could see Hollyberry Cookie either in arena defense, potentially in siege, especially on offense, and maybe a little bit in RTA. We have the Hollyberry Blue. Blue one, skill 2 is called Sound the Charge. It is a 3-turn cooldown, removes 1 harmful effect granted on all allies, and increases their attack bar by 15% each. This is cool conceptually, but I don't know how relevant it actually is. It would have to pair really nicely with the skill 3. So skill 3 is a passive. If an ally takes damage from an enemy, you have a 15% chance to offset that damage. Attack the enemy instantly to deal damage proportionate to your defense and stun them. Now, this is what makes Water Hollyberry really cool. There's a clip, I believe Jubagel made a video on it. Basically, it's a Thompson clip where Spires is fighting Thompson. Spires tries to mow along Thompson's Diana. It gets offset and stunned. And that's hilarious to me. So this is actually really cool because it can block bomb damage. It can block any form of single target damage. Overall, this is probably going to be seen a lot on arena defense. We're probably going to see it a little bit in siege. And honestly, the turn 2, like, very safe protective comps are going to use this in RTA. So you'll see this with, like, Diana. You'll see this potentially with Dominic and Molly and stuff like that. The Wind Hollyberry. So Oath on the Shield escorts the ally with the lowest HP. So this is the hug mechanic again. And Cries of Unity, a 4-turn cooldown. Creates a shield equal to 20% of your max HP on all allies for 3 turns. And increases their defense for 3 turns. In addition, decreases the skill cooldown time of all allies by 1 turn each. Conceptually very cool. However, defense buff doesn't seem very relevant in RTA, so I don't know if it's good enough. We have the light Hollyberry, so this is another hug mechanic, and then passive. When you attack an enemy, your defense increases by 10% each, up to 10 times, and deals bonus damage in proportion to the difference between the enemy target's defense and your defense. I like the second part of this. I think it's really cool. The first part feels like kind of like that Artemil passive thing without the revenge. Concept is cool. Really high defense. Not a lot of units run really high defense now, so pending scalings, this actually could deal a ton of damage. It'd be a very scary unit. And last but not least, the Dark Hollyberry. The Dark Hollyberry does have the AoE cleanse for 1 debuff and then attack bar gain. And Dragon Slayer Shield attacks all enemies to deal damage proportionate to your defense and decreases their defense for 2 turns afterwards. Afterwards, grants invincible on all allies for 2 turns. Now, this is going to be a unit that you're going to see with a lot of those neat comps, like the Pontos Shizuka comps with Oberon. If they own a Hollyberry cookie, you're going to see people using this with Katarina Shizuka. Basically, anything that needs the invincibility to like run and kill. So conceptually, Dark Hollyberry, super, super cool. I would love to get the chance to play with one. I think that this could be a super fun unit to use with like Katarina and stuff. So overall, that's my thought on all of the cookies from the collab. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm really excited to summon. I will be summoning in 2 weeks from, I guess, just 2 weeks on Sunday, basically. September 11th is my birthday, so that's when I'm going to be doing summons. I'll be turning 27. I'll be announcing kind of some stream events with that probably next week, but tentatively looking to potentially do a 27-hour stream, but we will see. Otherwise, it is good to be back, guys. Thank you so much for giving me some time off during August, and I really appreciate you. See you guys in the next video. Peace.